Hello, it's Rob here and welcome to a dismantle, clean and rebuild of the Tamiya Toyota Hilux. However, it's probably going to have a Mercedes G-Wagon body on it. But before I get into it, quick clip on how I came to get hold of this.
What, you got on the go, Rob?
Well, funny you should say. If you want to get the body for me, sir.
Ooh.
Right.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's nothing to do with me because this is Rob's. So if you go over to Rob's channel, you probably will see this coming up. And this is
At some point,
a project you're doing for a friend, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I had a load of rubbish in my back garden there I needed getting rid of. So I called this bloke, and he come round, saw all my cars in my living room, and said, "Oh, I've got a Toyota Hilux with a G-Wagon body on it."
Oh yeah, it is a G-Wagon, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit tatty.
It is, and I've got an actual G-Wagon. Do you think you could put the chassis back together and paint the body up to match my real
Full size. So he's got a full size. What colours is G-Wagon in?
Would you believe it?
What?
White.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
It's typical, isn't it? We've got the opposite
And
colour.
worse,
Look at this, it's painted inside and outside.
God knows how many coats on the inside, and obviously one coat at least
On the outside?
on the outside.
What a mess.
So I've decided that it would take weeks and weeks and weeks to
Yeah, too right, mate, to get the paint off.
get the paint off.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
I managed to get some Carson
Carson
painkiller.
painkiller. Hang on a minute.
Hang on, he says. Here we come.
This stuff.
Yeah, no, it says.
Is it any good, Rob?
It says it does polycarbonate.
Well, it's
but
supposed to be polycarbonate.
It's what's the word I'm looking for?
Rubbish.
Yeah, it clouds
It clouds the Lexan.
the Lexan, yeah.
So I noticed you've tried to get, well you have,
Yeah.
you've got the lights clear, so
I've got the lights
it's not cloudy.
clear, but to get them clear, I ended up using some of my Humbrol gloss varnish
Oh right.
on the inside and outside, and it seemed to get rid of the clouding.
Well, that's a good tip for anyone
Yeah.
out there. If you've got cloudy Lexan, you
But,
put
yeah.
some clear lacquer over it, and well you can see it's worked on the lights, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you've got a lot of work to do then. So I see
have,
you've rubbed
yeah.
it down on the outside, so you're going to spray the outside then white.
Yeah. I made up some window masks, so if you can see that side window there, looks a bit glossy.
Yeah.
So I've used the same Humbrol gloss varnish on that. So I'm going to mask all the windows
Looks
off.
all right, doesn't it?
Now I've manually created some, and then once I've sprayed that, I'll go over with the gloss varnish on the windows just to make it look like they're tinted.
Well, I'll be interested to see how that comes out. So if
Yeah.
you're interested in this project, Toyota Hilux converted to a G-Wagon, and what Rob's done to it, I think there's a lot you've done to the chassis as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, pop over to Rob's channel.
We need to get into starting the strip down and cleaning, because it's very dusty. So I'm not going to go into all of this. I'll just do updates as and when I feel like it. So I'm going to start by taking the axles off. This one was already off, and I'm going to take the front one off and then see how we get on cleaning all of that up. I've taken it all to pieces and cleaned it all up as best as I can, and as you can see, started putting it back together. Now, on taking it apart, I've had some issues, and I've got some parts on order, namely this part is one of them, which is the mount. If we bring this in, it's this part of the mount for the leaf springs, and it's just the one that's broke, but yeah, I can't put it back together with that, so I'm waiting for parts for those parts. The other thing is all four of these 2x10mm shafts, which go in the 12mm adapters, are bent. And I think that one, I can't remember which one now, but one of these, maybe that one, I had to bleeding well hammer out. It was stuck that much. So we're going to have to replace them in a bit. And yeah, I've checked through all the diffs and the transfer box and the gearbox, and everything's lovely and greased up, so I don't have to do anything there. But yes, one of the other things I've had to do is, you can't tell which one now, oh maybe that one, is I've had to straighten, that was a lot more bent out of shape than it is now, and it looks alright, but now I've put it on I can kind of see it's still bent a bit, so I might have to get that off and try bending it a bit more. Oh yeah, the other thing is, as I've been taking it apart, I've been swapping out some non-Tamiya screws. I found quite a few brass ones, flat-headed, and I don't know if I can get one. Oh, is it here? Yeah. And 4 of these, which was holding the suspension on, so I've taken them out and replaced them with I think these were the original ones that should have gone, but then it states flanged nuts for this side, and I've also gone around and replaced any ordinary nuts with nylox, and also because changing the nuts, the screws weren't long enough, I put some stainless steel screws in as well, so there we go. Okay, so the chassis is finished and all ready to go. I've done some cleaning of the wheels and tyres, and if you can see there, I've upgraded the servo to 25 kilogram, and then if we turn it over a bit more, if you can see there, I've removed the servo saver and just put a servo arm on, and I've also got these which are actually shop mounts, but I'm hopefully going to use them as part of the body mounts system, front and back. And unfortunately I'm still waiting for the body mounts to come in to try, because the body's quite tall, especially at the back. So we've done that, that's all ready to go. If we just put that to one side, and I've now started on the body. So as you can see, I've already started. I've masked off the wheel arches and running boards and front and rear bumpers, because they are going to be black. I've also started to sand down the spare wheel, because that was yeah, so I think somebody had painted it and not let it cure properly, and there was all loads of finger marks, so I've still got a bit of sanding down on that to do, and a bit of sanding now. I think I've sanded that down as much as I want to now, but I've made up these window masks, so I've got to stick them on. I'm not going to show you. I've also included 2 headlight masks. I've managed to clear them up quite a lot. I think I need another coat or two of the gloss varnish, but hey, it's not too bad. So I'm hopefully going to add some LED lights to that. So I'll be back shortly. Right then folks, I'm not sure where we got to on the body, but I've been doing some more to it. If I haven't shown you already, I've taken all the masking off and it's not looking too bad. Unfortunately, because it's polycarbonate paint, it's not that much of a gloss finish, so I think I will probably go over the whole lot with some gloss varnish. I may try in this area here, which isn't going to be seen. I may try some gloss lacquer, but I've not had much joy with this gloss lacquer on Tamiya paints and so forth. So like I say, I will try it on that bit first, and if it's alright, I may give it a few very light coats. But just to show you, I've managed, or I've got hold of some of this. It's 5mm basically creative glossy sticky tape, and I've been started to go around these bumper lines or whatever they're called, and what I've been doing is, if you can see, I'll try and zoom in a bit in a bit, but what I've tried to do is just take the corners off. So I'll get my scalpel and probably do it really crappily because I'm trying to keep it in camera, but I'm just taking the corners off. That is a bit too much, but hey, like that, and then sticking them on, and I think that goes there. Yeah, so I'm cutting both sides out each time because they're the same length, and then we stick them on. But you've seen me sticking things on loads of times. One thing I will say though is I've don't want to advertise, got a hairdryer to heat the vinyl up, which I'm hoping will help it adhere to the paint. Yeah, so I'll crack on and get back to you soon. Okay, I've moved on a bit and I've finished all the stickers down the side. I've yet to do these ones here, but I've got to be honest and tell you, I forgot about them. So there we go. And I've already also started painting the rear indicators and stoplights. As you can see, I've done the black and the silver and the orange for the indicators. I just need to have a closer look at that before I continue to see if I might need another coat of orange before I start on the red. So the other thing I've done is, oops, daisy, made up some LED lights for the front that connect into the receiver, because it's a 4-channel receiver. So I'll be mounting them once I've finished.